our city knows the sweet taste of victory. From the Stanley Cup to a Division I title win.
That still doesn't feel real.
A triumph isn't an end.
Now, new stories are being written, and Fox 5 and the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network is following every team on ice. With our UNLV Skatin' Rebel national champions.
It's great for the city, it's great for hockey.
How will they defend their title?
Let's bring it home!
And the Henderson Silver Knights, skating with something to prove while building tomorrow's legends.
It's great to be able to teach and grow off a win.
Plus, how our youth teams are teaching kids to fly on ice. And what's in store for the new faces of the VGK, including their monsters in the north.
The Golden Knights are beefing up their minor leagues with the Night Monsters. These teams, our teams.
Where their victories become our victories. Building the future of hockey, one player at a time.
Vegas wanted hockey, Vegas got hockey.
Covering every team on the ice, this is Hockey in the Desert Weekly.
Welcome inside another edition of Hockey in the Desert Weekly. I'm your host, Vince Sapienza. Let's fire home a snapshot of what is in store over the next 30 minutes. We're going to look back at the week that was for all the Knights, including the emotional return of Zach Whitecloud at T-Mobile Arena, the Silver Knights return to the Calder Cup postseason, plus we'll set the stage for Season 2 of the Vegas Golden Knights High School Hockey League here in the Valley. And we've got the Skatin' Rebels in studio, freshman forward Ryder McIntosh joining me to talk all things Scarlet and Gray. But we start with a look at the Pacific Division standings in the NHL as of Wednesday afternoon. Just 4 games left for the Golden Knights. And what do we have here? The Knights in a tie for first place with the Edmonton Oilers, 1 point ahead of now third place Anaheim, meaning if the season ended today, the Knights would have a home ice advantage against the Ducks in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And what a difference a week makes. 10 days ago, the Golden Knights organization shook the hockey world by making a coaching change. John Tortorella comes in and becomes the first VGK head coach to win the first 4 games. The first win came against the Canucks. The last one also against the Canucks, though this time in Vancouver. Go to Rogers Arena. Carter Hart looking like the new #1 in net, making his 3rd straight start. Not a busy night, just 11 shots faced, but after giving up a tough one in the second, Hart comes up with what proved to be a massive save on Elias Pettersson at the end of the middle stanza to keep it a 1-1 game. Final frame under 8 to play. Tortorella is going to replay this clip over and over. Cole Smith turning defense and offense, gets on the forecheck, forces a turnover, and then eats up the sweet feed from Nick Dowd. His second as a Golden Knight, 8th of the season. That is your winners. Vegas win their 4th straight 2-1.
No, it feels great. This is a big game for our team too. 2 important points. It's a big push here towards the end of the season for us, and so it feels really good to be able to contribute and do something for the guys here.
Yeah, we were good. They played a good game. They played hard. They were aggressive. We played a pretty solid game. Our gaps were good, and we had a lot of pressure in the O-zone, and their goalie played well. And those can be tough games, especially on the goalie, getting for Hartsey only getting 10 or 11 shots, whatever it may be. Mentally tough for him. So he did a great job.
Now the biggest win of the John Tortorella era came this past weekend in Edmonton. The Golden Knights jumped out to a 3-0 lead, the third coming from Jeremy Lauzon, his first as a Golden Knight. Vegas had 5 different goal scorers in this one, a 3-assist evening for Jack Eichel, but the true standout, Carter Hart. In just his second game back from nearly 3 months off, he finished with 31 saves against one of the top offensive teams in the league, doing so in his home province of Alberta, Canada.
Oh, it feels awesome. I mean, anytime you get 2 points feels great, but it feels especially sweeter in your hometown. And I got a lot of family and friends here, and it's a big 2 points for us.
Out high Marner over to the 4-point night. Looking. Wraparound chance, score! What a goal and what a night! Mitch Marner with a hat trick.
This past week, the Medieval Maniacs lay witness to Mitch Marner's 4th career hat trick, first with a VGK. He also added 2 assists to make it a 5-point game, becoming just the 4th player in VGK history to get 5 points in the game, joining Tomas Hertl, who did it earlier this year, and Mark Stone, who, no big deal, has done it twice. Now, while fans left the arena that night smiling, there were some real tears To start this one, Zach Whitecloud back inside the Fortress for the first time since being traded to Calgary back in January. He was given one of, if not the longest tribute videos I have seen for a former player. Signed as a college free agent, he spent 8 years in Vegas playing in 393 games, helping the city win a Stanley Cup in 2023. In return, he received a standing ovation from the crowd and the VGK bench. You could even see his best friend Keegan Colasar egging him on, trying to get him to do a few laps.
You're aware of it, right, going into it, but I don't think anyone or anything prepares you for what you're going to feel. But, I had a lot of old teammates text me, just enjoy it and have fun. And throughout the day, I was pretty nervous and pretty tough to have a nap. But this place was special to me and still is, and have a lot of great memories here, a lot of great friends. And yeah, it's cool that the people behind the scenes put a lot of work into that sort of stuff, and a lot of love and care goes into that. And it's just very much appreciated.
All right, despite all the ice, we're just getting warmed up here on Hockey in the Desert Weekly. When we return, we're going to Henderson, who punched their ticket to the postseason for the first time in 4 years. We'll show you how they did it, plus hear the reaction from the team.
You're watching Hockey in the Desert Weekly.
Point is Bowman. Pressured by Pagansky. Threw it across Conley. One-timer scores! Bowman, a shot, missed the net. Carrying off the embers, but Beckett Fred score! Braden Bowman with 15 seconds to go. The Silver Knights have a 5-4 lead.
For the first time in 4 years, the Henderson Silver Knights are postseason bound. HSK punching their ticket back to the Calder Cup playoffs for just the third time in franchise history, and doing so in maybe the most dramatic way possible. Down one with under 2 to play, Henderson win it in regulation. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. Saturday also marked their 35th win of the season, matching the franchise mark with 6 games to go.
Step one complete. Yeah. No, happy for our guys. Obviously, the way we did it, both games this week in dramatic fashion. Never quit. Probably a little bit fitting. Carl had to make the save with 3 seconds to go there to seal the deal. But, yeah, the building was alive. I thought it was a playoff-style games both nights. That's a good team over there, the Czechs. They're heavy, they're big. We had to work for everything we got this weekend, and especially at the end.
I think with this crew, since last year, we've been building a culture where we're like brothers. We got an unbelievable crew in that room. We have great older guys, younger guys kind of fit in. And what I've noticed when I've been watching them is it's kind of like a train. You keep on rolling. Guys coming into the lineup, but the style doesn't change, and the habits and the standards of that group don't change. So I think, it was easy for me to come in. Me and Ronnie kind of joined the team this last weekend. And with the culture that we built in there, I think it's just next man up. And I think it showed this weekend.
Well, we'll take wins any way you can get them. We're not just trying to get in. We're trying to get as high as we can, collect as many points as we can. If the game would have taken overtime tonight and we got our 2 points, we'd still be happy about it. All we've done is check a box, right, or get an X by our name. But very proud of that accomplishment. Very proud of our guys. We've talked about since the All-Star break the step we've taken here, and it's a credit to the players.
Kevin Wall finds Stanek, feeding across, Wall on the doorstep, they score!
A little bit of history made over the weekend in Tahoe. Devin Pagliani became just the second Night Monsters player in franchise history to hit the 30-goal mark in a season. Great moment, however, on Fan Appreciation Night. Tahoe cannot hold a 2-0 lead. The visiting Cyclones from Cincy scored 3 unanswered. They win the game, take the series 2-1. 4 games left now for the team in teal, all on the road starting this Friday in Allen, Texas. The Night Monsters still looking for their postseason berths at 6th in the West, though the separation between 6 and 10 in the standings, just 3 points. Well, after a successful inaugural season, the Vegas Golden Knights High School Hockey League returns this spring. The organization saw a giant hockey hole in the valley for that particular age group, and they continue to fill it by building upon the foundation they set in Season 1. I recently sat down with the staff in charge of putting together this one-of-a-kind hockey haven.
Honestly, I think there's a lot more buzz this year than there was last year. Not to say there wasn't any last year, but it was all new.
Like year one, this season's High School Hockey League remains co-ed and will be made up of 320 players split up into 8 different regions of the valley. Each region will have 2 teams, one in the major division, the other the minor division.
Looking for something in front. Loose, short side!
So this year, with the advancement of all the AI, we were able to capture a more dialed in process to it. You know, the easy thing is to say, you know, I'm my son or daughter's zone for this area or that area, as far as CCSD goes, but we're not working with the same population of kids. There's only so many kids that play hockey, so we have to kind of take that and create a hybrid of our own, and that's what we did with this, and using AI was fantastic this year.
Bouncing puck, backhanded, kick save!
Now by name, it's a league designed for high schoolers, though this season the only eligible players are those with the birth years in 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2012.
It is a hybrid of both USA Hockey and CCSD, and we're kind of trying to merge in between them. We don't want graduating seniors playing against incoming freshmen, which would be what you would do if you allowed the 08 birth year, because you have half and half.
That's the end of the game! 2-1 Ravens.
Once again, there will be games of the week that are broadcasted on YouTube, complete with play-by-play and in-game interviews. There will be a bigger focus on statistics in year 2, as well as an elevated feel around town.
So year 2, we partnered up with Buffalo Wild Wings, which is really cool for the athletes. After every game played, all the Buffalo Wild Wings in town, if you wear your jersey, you get a free, I believe it's 6 wings and a soda, which is something kind of cool for the athletes. So Buffalo Wild Wings is a partner, a sponsor of the league now with us. And every Buffalo Wild Wings is going to have the jerseys in their stores of the high school league. We're trying to make it so, like, if you're a Henderson team, the Henderson Buffalo Wild Wings will have the Battle Rams and Black Mountain and those jerseys there.
Kind of like I would imagine getting to a high school, you know, playoff run or something in any sport, not just hockey, kind of gets that feel to it.
Now another new wrinkle in year 2. Saturday, June 13th, America First Center will host every single high school team and have games throughout the day starting at 8:30 all the way through 10 o'clock at night. It will be their spin on the frozen frenzy we see in the NHL. There will also be activities for everyone in attendance, including games on and off the ice for fans and families. Now this week, the NCAA men's ice hockey Frozen Four will call Las Vegas home. Michigan, Denver, North Dakota, and Wisconsin have combined to win college hockey's greatest prize 33 times. And with all that storied history of success, it sets up what many believe to be one of the most exciting tournaments in recent memory. Now, for Vegas fans, obviously there's no true hometown team to root for, but there is a Golden Knights connection with John Tortorella and the Fighting Hawks head coach.
Probably John Tortorella. You know, John made me his captain when I came to Rochester in 95, 96, and we went through some hard battles throughout the first half of that year, and we ended up winning a Calder Cup in Game 7. So learned a lot from Torts about, I don't know, how to connect with, how we connected with our players. He was hard on us, but I knew he cared about us, and he was a really sharp coach on what he demanded from our group and where we could get to. So, you know, ton of appreciation and respect. I just texted him the other day, so obviously he's got a lot going on. But yeah, hopefully, I think they're going to be obviously out of town when we're there. But yeah, I always have kind of kept in touch with Torts over the years. He's always been an unbelievable mentor. I've a lot of times in the summer I'll drive down to kind of meet him nearby his lake place, and he spends time, you know, talking to me about culture building and connecting with players and being a leader of men. So yeah, that's super exciting for his opportunity there in Las Vegas.
Dane Jackson was, when I was in Roch, I spent 2 years in Roch in the American League for Buffalo, and I wore the GM hat. I wore a lot of different hats down there, and I was talking to agents, and I was trying to get Dane. And I was basically negotiating the contract, and I wanted him because I heard about him and I knew about his leadership skills. We got him. He was basically another coach for me. He was such a good player for us, but I didn't have any assistant coaches because Buffalo gave me and Rochester gave me a budget. If I want to hire an assistant coach, I could use it. I want to just get some players, so I didn't hire an assistant coach. Charlie Huddy was my player assistant coach. Never put him behind the bench with clothes on. He played every game. And I got to know Jax that way as far as kind of leaning on him as a coach and player. Ended up being my captain, won a Calder Cup with him. Had some crazy times with him during that, the couple years I had him. So we were just texting last night, Dana and I. He was telling me I think we were on the road. Yeah, so good man, good family man, great player, infectious personality. Yeah, that's a great name for me.
Now, as we reported last week, Golden Knights President of Hockey Operations George McPhee was named the recipient of the 2026 Lou Lamoriello Award. It's a recognition created by the Retired Coaches Group within the American Hockey Coaches Association to honor a former college coach or player who has distinguished himself in his profession after college. McPhee played college hockey at Bowling Green State University, winning the Hobey Baker in 1982. McPhee was named GM of the Year in 2018 in the NHL after Vegas' historic inaugural season. That took them to the Stanley Cup Final, obviously winning it all in 2023 under his current role with the VGK. McPhee will be honored at a luncheon on Friday hosted by the University of North Dakota. Now, following the announcement, McPhee made this statement, quote, "I am honored beyond words to accept the Lou Lamoriello Award. As the Frozen Four prepares to arrive here in Vegas, Lou is among the very best hockey minds and human beings to grace college hockey in the National Hockey League. Lou's impact on these institutions, as well as the lives of thousands who have worked for him and competed against him, is extraordinary," end quote. Now, on Wednesday, the Professional Hockey Writers Association announced the 32 teams nominees for the Bill Masterton Trophy, and the Golden Knights nominee, goaltender Akira Schmid. This is an annual award given to a player who best exemplifies perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. In his 5th NHL season, Schmid has set career marks in terms of games played, starts, and wins. The list will be narrowed down to 3 finalists and a winner named at a future date. Still ahead here on Hockey in the Desert Weekly, it's time to turn our attention to the Scarlet and Gray freshman forward Ryder McIntosh, joining me here in the studio to talk about year 1 with the program and what's next for he and his teammates. Welcome back inside Hockey in the Desert Weekly. We've talked a little gold, silver, even that Tahoe teal. Time to turn our attention to the Scarlet and Gray, and to do that, we had to bring in freshman forward Ryder McIntosh here in studio. You wrapped up year 1 here in the program. I guess, what was the experience like with year 1 with the Skating Rebels?
Probably the most fun experience of my life so far. As a freshman, you don't really know what to expect when you're coming in, so every day I was kind of settling more. I was just trying to contribute every night, but yeah, overall it was a really fun year, and I'm excited for next year.
Talk to me about what it's like, a Vancouver kid coming to Las Vegas. What did you know about Las Vegas before? What changed in your mind about learning about this city and what it's like to be part of this community?
The only thing I really knew about Vegas when I was coming in here was the Strip, the hockey program, and how sunny it is. So it was a big change for me with the weather and no nature and stuff like that, but I'm enjoying it and I love being down here.
Talk to me about your transition on the ice as we look at some of your highlights. Tickling the twine a little bit. What was the experience like with a lot of young guys on the roster this year?
It was fun. We got a core, I think, of 8 guys, which is good, freshmen. So we're a good, solid group, and it's good to get to know all the boys. And yeah, we got a good future, bright future in front of us.
Obviously, you had some success at the ACHA tournament. Obviously, not the ending you wanted. We don't need to get into the controversy that was in that semifinal game. But what did you learn as a group about that core, specifically during that tournament?
We learned that anything can go any way. Like, yeah, it was an unfortunate situation, but what are you going to do, right? We're just going to use it as motivation, come back next year, and we know what we got to do and what it takes to win.
Coach Greener talked about how one of the big messages moving forward is going to be the chip that's on the shoulder for the group returning and coming back this fall. How has that been a message amongst your teammates, and how is that something that's going to fuel you this summer?
Well, it's already fueling us just in the gym, and with everything we do already, we're thinking about that, and we want to win it. We had expectations that we were going to win it, so next year that's our chip on the shoulder for sure, and we're coming for it.
As we wrap up our time, the season may be done, but the work is not done. 20th anniversary gala is coming up later this month. You've learned firsthand what it's like to be part of this community. How big of a deal is this event coming up later this month?
Oh, this gala will be great. It's a good way to get the community involved with the players, staff, and everything involved with the team. And yeah, we're excited. It's going to be lots of food, entertainment, and we also got a silent auction, I believe.
Yep.
So,
Tickets still available, rebelhockey.com. And again, it's one of those opportunities. You got to meet the fans firsthand. This will be one of those opportunities to reach out to them and them to reach out to you.
Yeah, it'll be great to meet all the fans and everyone who helps support our program. We have lots of support in this program, and we want to do nothing but give back to them.
Ryder McIntosh, freshman
Thanks
forward for
for
your
having me.
Skating Rebels. Make sure you get your tickets, rebelhockey.com, for the gala coming up later this month. We are not done here. When we return, it's time to clear the ice. Continuing Quest, we start with maybe the biggest news around the National. A week after Bruce Cassidy was fired in Vegas, the man he replaced, Pete DeBoer, hired by the New York Islanders. The club fired Patrick Waugh. With 4 regular season games remaining, DeBoer has over 1,200 games coached and will now become the bench boss for his 6th NHL team. He signed a deal that will keep him on the island through the 2028-29 season.
There was some rust. I think for half the game, and the boys let me do it, I was calling Dowd by a different name, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. And I'm sure you'll hear about that eventually from these guys.
Oh, we did hear about it, and turns out the name he was using to call Nick Dowd was Wardo. Now, Joel Ward, who goes by Wardo, is one of the assistants on the coaching staff. He played 11 years in the National. He was not available against the Canucks. Now, fortuitously, at least for us, the cameras caught what we believe to be the interaction on the bench in the 3rd period between Torts and Dowd, having that moment. Torts admits even a week into the new gig, he's still learning names, but in the days following his debut, we caught up with Dowd to get his reaction.
I don't know. You guys are going to have to talk to Torts about that. I don't even know if he knows. I don't know. I guess whatever name I'm called, if it gets me over the boards, I'm cool with it. So we'll stick with what, if he wants to call 2 names out, that gives me double the chance of getting on the sheet. So we'll go with Wardo and Dowd tonight. I'm playing both.
To all you kids out there, let that be a lesson. Doesn't matter what they call you, as long as you get over the boards and onto the ice. Sage advice from Dowd or Wardo, or both. That's how you clear the ice. We'll see you next week.